Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for another episode of the Skylanders carryon Locke here on the channel. We're kicking things off right in the action of Boney Islands right here with the Skylander that we obviously ended it off with in the previous episode because Mega Ram Spyro was able to successfully make it through the Serpent's Peak without having been defeated there, which is more than I can say for Zulu, unfortunately, who faced a very gruesome fate in Motleyville. Oh dear, this is what happens when a lack of concentration occurs in the video game, because obviously Mega Ram Spyro here, he's seen better days in terms of his health bar right now, and he was on the brink of being defeated, so just after he managed to solo shot the Serpent's Peak level, I almost had him defeated to a fucking fire golem of all things. And that is the proof we need that this is a brand new session, because obviously I play these games very inconsistently, so this is a new session compared to the last, where on the last one I did make my mistakes, especially that with Zulu, but generally it was playing quite well. Let's hope the rest of this session I'm recording today doesn't go as well as what that beginning just did. You know, let's hope that we don't have a stupid Mega Ram Spyro moment, because we need this guy, okay? After this guy is defeated, we revert to Spyro's original form, which if we manage to get that all the way up to Trap Team, then the original form of Spyro becomes his elite form, because obviously the elite has the original pose of the Skylander, it has all the original powers of the Skylanders original version there, mind you. I'm saying original a lot, so perhaps you should make a drinking game out of every single time I say the word original in this video. Granted, by now you would have given yourself alcohol poisoning playing such a game, so I wouldn't recommend it. Let's get him! Yeah, that's what we have the awesome WoW power for right there. Let's say the elites from Trap Team onwards replace the original versions of the character, and then after the original versions of the character, those who have mini forms, their mini becomes their last ditch effort as their, you know, a miniaturized version of the main character, so it's kind of like a final life after that of the original. So say Spyro will have that, and Terraform will be in the exact same boat. He gets his original all the way up to Trap Team, and he earns his elite status, which will replace his original form. And then, even should that be defeated, we'll have another Terrapin to be backed up upon that being his miniaturized version, coming after the original, which would become the elite. Really as simple as that when it comes down to the rules of upgrading characters whenever carried it over into a brand new game. Rules inspired by the Supercharged series, which is why that can still be found in the channel description. Not the channel description, for video description specifically. Anyway, I did wind up recording half of this level before my console went ahead and died on me again. I really do need to get a brand new Xbox, it seems. But say, because we only got halfway through, and we didn't even make it to the checkpoint either, so a little bit of this level has been played prior to this, which is, you know, what why I concluded the previous session earlier than I expected. I just couldn't be asked to go around and replay the same level that I did already, at least the first half of it. But this museum souvenir has been collected until now, so I suppose Mega Ram Spyro is taking advantage of that. Though unfortunately it only gives us treasure, and Mega Ram's treasure count is already maxed out. You know, definitely prefer food at this point, given the rough start Mega Ram Spyro was off to. But luckily I seem to be really turning the tables on these enemies here.
Well, well, well. How the turntables...
Now with that awesome edit out of the way, let's continue destroying stuff, because I like destroying stuff. Destruction is fun. And in this episode we're going to be tackling not only Boney Islands, but we're going to be taking on Winterkeep as well, because we're following the pattern as we have done prior. We're beating 2 levels in a row per episode, so that then when we get to the final level of these ice missions, which would be for Frostfest Mountains, it means that we can play through that level and then go straight into a boss fight afterwards. Technically continuing to play 2 levels in the same episode still. Which is funny, because Boney Islands and Winterkeep are both much longer than Frostfest Mountains, so even with Mesmeralda fight, Frostfest Mountains, that episode, is going to wind up being a lot longer than this one. But say, we are cutting out cutscenes, loading screens, all of that jazz, which is fantastic for all of users, guys, because the Xbox 360 has pretty long loading screens for this game. After all, it does have a lot in which it needs to load. Fortunately, a lot of those loading screens are hidden by the cutscenes of the game, which we're also skipping over, so you guys don't need to worry about wasting about 10 or so odd minutes between levels. We just cut to the good bits, the level bits. Yeah, let's fire this guy up slowly but surely. As you can tell, Mega Ram Spyro is very much the epitome of average. You look up average in the dictionary, this is what you'll see right here. A picture of Mega Ram Spyro. I hate to say that about a character that has such a legacy behind him. After all, Spyro did not originate from Skylanders. Obviously, there are plenty of fans of the original Spyro games out there who hate this franchise for what it did to Spyro's original design. They made his snout smaller? Such a war crime. Honestly, the developers of this game, they should all be shot for doing something so terrible. At least that's how they react half of the time. It's not toxic whatsoever. We only say this because we have bias towards Skylanders. Skylanders obviously being our franchise of choice. I still love the original Spyro games, obviously. I mean, it's been introduced to a whole new generation now that we have the Reignited trilogy. We're going to swap out from one dragon to another. So we've swapped out from Spyro to Zap. This is a great start for the session, by the way. Zap is so broken, he crashed the video game. Okay, so now I've played back up to this point, and when I switched my console back on after having the game crashed on me, so obviously I had to turn my console off and back on again. That just reminds me of a classic IT joke. With that being all said and done, after I booted the console back up again, I decided before playing back through the level up to this point, let's see if when I play Zap onto the portal, it will cause the game to crash again. And surely enough it did. This is very strange right now. The game is fine for literally every other Skylander except Series 1 Zap. Series 1 Zap, he crashes the game every time I place him onto the portal. So my question to all of you is, have you experienced the same glitch? Perhaps you have, but with a different Skylander. It's just weird how it happens every single time with Zap. Without fail. I haven't tried putting his Series 2 version onto the portal yet, so maybe the Series 2 version will be alright, but we can't use that with carryon Locke because the Series 2 version has been defeated already, so only the original could be utilised, and since we can't place the original onto the portal without the game crashing, it basically means that Zap is going to be inaccessible to us throughout the rest of the Swap Force portion of the carryon Locke. We're just going to have to make do with Washbuckler and Whamshell instead, but at least this guarantees that Zap is going to be making his all the way up to Trap Team. That is pretty nice to get Zap as far as that, especially since he's been with us since the very start of the series. Washbuckler here has seen better health in terms, well, he's seen better days in terms of his health bar, I should say, but luckily we're healing up after that very nutritious popsicle right now. It's just so strange how this game crashing is happening every single time I play Series 1 Zap onto Portal, without exception. I haven't tested every single character from the carryon Locke cast, so perhaps it will happen with other characters as well, and that might just be a result of my Xbox 360 being so old. Or maybe it's something wrong with the disc, for Skylander Swap Force disc. Honestly, I have no definite answers as to what is causing this problem, and I have no definite fix for it either, which is why we're just going to have to make do without Series 1 Zap throughout the remainder of the Swap Force chapter of the carryon Locke. It is a shame, but it also is what it is. Looks like we're not going from one dragon to another, instead we're going from Spyro to Washbuckler, two very polar opposite species. Unless you had an octopus dragon, which sounds like it would be really weird, but also really fucking cool at the same time. Okay, let's just follow some stuff. They had it coming for me funny. Yeah, luckily for us, Washbuckler is still good, so he should still get through this section, no questions asked. And hopefully I haven't said that I didn't just jinx myself. We're going back to our discussion about Spyro, with OG Spyro fans not being a fan of his design, quite literally. This is fan section right now, with fans not being a fan and all that. But fan talk aside, you know, you can dislike the design all you like, that's fine. You know, at the end of the day, if you're that attached to a purple dragon with a specific size snout, that is fine. But at least Spyro, you can no longer say it's just been used as a marketing ploy to sell original Spyro fans on a Skylanders game, which is a game completely different to that of the originals. At least you can no longer say that, because Spyro instead has been introduced as a character to a whole new generation. And his games have officially returned through the Igknight trilogy. Of course, Spyro is a big part of this, and Crash Bandicoot games that have released since then. He's a part of both Crash Team Racing and Crash Rumble. So yeah, Spyro is back in the limelight, something that wouldn't have been nearly as successful without Skylanders, because all of these new Spyro fans wouldn't have ever emerged for a 20-year-old game if not for Spyro's inclusion in Skylanders. Spyro might be even older than that, I just can't math. But that being said, those guys have been destroyed and now it's time for the air element. So, Jetpack, please don't crash the game. I'm asking you nicely over here. Never thought I'd have to ask Jetpack nicely for anything, but here we are. So, hawking and awing, and we're not crashing the game, which is a good start. Well, at least we haven't crashed the game thus far. We don't know what could happen in the next 30 seconds. No one knows what could happen in the next 30 seconds, you know. If the FBI could raid this house and accidentally shoot me on sight thinking I'm a terrorist, or maybe I actually am a terrorist, deserving of being shot, and you guys just don't know that yet. Yeah, literally anything can happen in the next 30 seconds, including death. You know, so as they say, literally anyone can die tomorrow, so appreciate the present. It's like Master Uge would have said, for present is a gift. So let's continue on, because there's stuff here, and I like stuff, especially that of the shiny gold variety. Let's go. Now turbocharge, not even turbocharge jetpack, just a turbo regular old jetpack. I'm bringing Donkey Kong into this, and this isn't even a Nintendo platform. But say, Turbo Jetpack over here, he has a wow power ability, which I bet most of you didn't even know what it is or what it does. You hold the primary attack button, boom! Massive buster there, and it's actually really bloody busted because it does not take long to charge up whatsoever, and it deals a crap ton of damage, and it penetrates through enemies as well, so multiple enemies can be hit from one blast so long as they are very conveniently lined up. Anyway, we have a loose cannon right here, which reminds me of the name of a Transformers Prime episode. I have no problems with that whatsoever because that show is great. Now let's try to get hit much less, because otherwise I'm not gonna die, and that's not convenient. It's a bit like that. Okay, these guys have got to go. Let's take him out. I do not like how that guy's off screen. I couldn't even finish my sandwich before the game went on ahead and ate the sandwich right in front of me. This is pain and torture. Poor old Turbo Jetpack didn't deserve this. He didn't crash the game, and this is how he's rewarded. Well, looks like we're reverting back to the original Jetpack, which is not okay, but as long as we get the original Jetpack to Trap Team, we get to upgrade to his full blast version, and obviously since he has a mini as well, we will be able to revert all the way back down to the mini after the original Jetpack, but that's only should he make it all the way up to Trap Team to be carried on over into that game. So enough of rambling. What we're going to do instead here is place Light Core Tornado onto the portal and hope once again that we don't crash the game. But say, that was our first death for the air element in the entirety of Carryon Lock. The air element has finally been exposed for its mortality, and that's due to off-screen camera tricks. Curse you, you off-screen projectiles! Not a big fan. Okay, let's not get hit this time. Yeah, let's just say that when it comes to Jetpack, mistakes are made. It also doesn't help that the character quite literally sucks. A character who doesn't suck would have survived that just fine. But that is not what Jetpack is. Jetpack is many things, but a character who does not suck is not one of them. Or it is one of them? Am I double negativing when I don't need to be double negativing? That is a very difficult thing to say for some reason. Negativing. That's probably because it isn't a word. Isn't I think it's a word. So say, these double negatives, I'm using them. Where one is not needed of a double negative. Boom, take him out some more. Sweet! Now that guy we don't even need to defeat, so we're just going to leave him well enough alone. Not that Warnado couldn't handle it. I think Warnado has definitely proven himself so far throughout this series. But yeah, losing Turbo Jetpack isn't the end of the world, especially since all we need to do is get his current form, his original, up to Trap Team. If we do that, if we carry him on into Trap Team, so we get the upgraded version of Jetpack, we get the mini to revert to after the original is defeated as well. So Turbo Jetpack's life really doesn't mean all too much moving forward, because it will just be lost when he gets upgraded anyway. Like, all what we do is go from turbo jetpack to straight to full blast jetpack, and after full blast jetpack is defeated, or if he's even defeated, that is, we don't revert back to full blast. We go all the way back to the original. So full blast would basically just be a waste in between. You know, it's better losing turbo jetpack, who's just going to be replaced for the next game anyway by his next version. It's better losing that than losing something like Tornado, because then we have to revert back to his original form throughout the entirety of the remainder of the carryon Locke, because the light core version of Tornado is the final version of which we can upgrade him to for the carryon Locke. It's a damn good thing his original made it this far, to say the least. But then again, was there ever any doubts with Tornado's absolute raw, untamed awesomeness? Okay, here we go, let's take him all out some more because I feel like it. Ow, that hurt. Bit rude. And we're strong, oh yeah. I mean, I don't even need to defeat these guys. We can just do like what we did with 5 or just avoid all this altogether. But this is exactly what we're going to do. Push these guys into place, and then that is going to be a very nutritious popsicle. We should get back up to full health afterward. Here's hoping. But yeah, so I can't wait to get like to the very end of a level, and then it turns out that other Skylanders have that same glitch as Zap where they just crash the game. You know, I'm going to be at the very end of this level, and the tech section Skylander's going to crash the game. I'm planning to use Drill Sergeant, so let's hope that Drill Sergeant won't break the video game. Okay, Zap has broken the video game so many times throughout the carryon Locke. Like, he bullied Archeans for 60 minutes straight during the Giants finale. In Spyro's Adventure, he walked on water, and now in this game, he is so powerful the game just can't even comprehend his code. It just crashes the game in its entirety. The game literally cannot handle his untamed awesomeness. That being said, it's Drill Sergeant's turn. Drill Sergeant's turn to be awesome. And not to crash the video game, more importantly. I want to know what the fuck hit me there, video game. I think I should be refunded that health I just lost. Okay, here we go. Let's push that in place. Especially since I got hit by thin air. And last time I checked, thin air should not be damaging my tech Skylanders. Apparently I am wrong in this. Thin air is very painful for Drill Sergeant. That's just because Drill Sergeant sucks. Never mind, I take it back. Drill Sergeant is so bad that he takes damage to thin air. No other Skylander is that caliber of lame. Only Drill Sergeant. I am insulting all the Drill Sergeant fans right now. All 3 of them. I am sorry. Very niche Drill Sergeant community for insulting your favourite character. All 3 of you. I apologise. Ooh! Treasure chest. Anyway, after I've insulted people, I should probably like stop continuing to insult people. I'm not exactly insulting Drill Sergeant fans, I'm insulting their character. Their favourite character. One of their favourite characters. I don't really know at this point. Oh, shit. Okay, let's try not to die here, because this is Drill Sergeant's original version, so if this guy gets kaput, that's it. He's done throughout the entirety of what remains of the carryon Locke. So that's why dying here, not an option. Okay, luckily we can hide behind this block wherever we placed hiding blocks. I would love leveling up right now, but then I remembered that, oh yeah, in SWAT Force leveling up isn't as useful, is it? Don't you dare hit me, loose cannon! These loose cannons are becoming a real problem for us, it seems. Okay, that carryon can move now, and we can continue to avoid the cannons of the loose cannon.
Interesting area.
Be even more interesting if Drill Sergeant had more health, then we could explore it without the risk of death. But unfortunately, the risk of death is all around us. I could die tomorrow. Drill Sergeant could die, not even tomorrow, quite possibly in the next 30 seconds he could die. Anyone can die. So yes, I suppose that just reinforces my message of enjoying the day today. After all, today is a gift, and that is why it is called the present. I'm doubling down on these Oogway quotes, aren't I? I'm okay with that. Oogway is legendary. If he was a Skylander, these enemies will not stand a chance. Then again, we have a Turtle Skylander already. Then we have Tornado, plus all of the other turtles that I totally am remembering off the top of my head. Not Voodoo. People mistake Voodoo as a turtle. He's an orc. Totally different species altogether. Okay, let's take out some fools. Ow! Well, luckily that's what we have the pretzel for. That wasn't even a pretzel, was it? It was a popsicle. If I'm going to say it, I should at least say it correctly. I was just too busy focused on not dying. Which luckily is quite easy when all we need to do is bypass the enemies. Low risk, high reward. And that's what I'm talking about! Watch out for the lasers! Yeah, no lasers to the face, not from me. You are failures at your one and only job, which is killing the Skylanders. You had one job and you failed it miserably. Congrats, you fucking lazy, you absolute moronic fools. Not even moronic, I don't give them the light of day to even pronounce the insults correctly in their presence. They aren't worthy of a proper insulting, I'm telling you. So let's go on ahead and grab ourselves this final key, because we have all the keys we need, all of the fuel that we need, all of the popsicles that we need, most importantly of all. So let us finish this level without further ado and try not to die to the fucking caravan section, because that would be so annoying and needless. Boom, the dinosaur fellas are down. I love how this is a like ice museum. It has such an intricate attention to detail, this level. Oh, I can show these guys from back here. I can take my revenge on them, even though they did nothing to me. They didn't damage me or nothing. So what am I taking revenge for exactly? I don't know. Okay, mines. We got to make sure we're looking ahead. We got to shoot all the mines ahead of us. I was about to say like that one. Okay, I really need some food right now, because I'm dying good. So there's some food when you really need it. Thank you, video game! As you shall receive, I suppose. Whew! Well, I've got way too close, my heart. 'Tis pounding! Where's the Wii version when you need it? In the Wii version, this turret section isn't nearly as long. At least I don't remember it being, because the Wii version had a lot of clip content, including this section. Like I say, at least I think it did. It might still have a section in it. But I don't willingly choose to go out of my way to play Swap Force on the Wii, for good reason. Die, mine! Die! Okay, cool. These things are all dead, so we can see it. Okay, more mines for me to commit murder against. That guy is not going to hit me, it's still going to hit me. Which is rubbish. Rubbish, I tell you. Food? No food. Food is asking too much. And after all that, I went on ahead and died to the fucking caravan section anyway.
You can't keep getting away with this!
Okay, we're going to go on ahead and replace Drill Sergeant with his giant counterpart. Hopefully a larger hitbox will be particularly useful for this caravan section. But man, it really stinks that of all things to lose Drill Sergeant to, I lose him to the fucking caravan section. Because I can't aim. Okay, I have many skills, but apparently aiming is not one of them. And here we are, Bouncer absolutely smashing this section. Like, this section didn't see it coming. He's annihilating everything in his path. Why couldn't Drill Sergeant do this? I suppose it just emphasises Drill Sergeant's overall uselessness. Drill Sergeant wishes he was this awesome. He looks at Bouncer with such envy, and I couldn't blame him. Bouncer is superior in every conceivable fashion. This is what Drill Sergeant should have been, but the universe said no. So instead, Drill Sergeant was so useless he wound up dying in the fucking caravan section of all things. I'm not going to get over this. Okay, this is going to bum me out for the entirety of the series, or what's left of it. There is no way this becomes any less depressing over time. And just like that, we failed, miserably failed No Stars Defeated, because we lost 2 lives on this level. It would appear as though what we had at the start with Mega Ram's Pyro was indeed foreshadowing of what's to come, because let's just say my skill at the game has seriously dipped right now. But that being said, I will see you at Winterkeep. Okay, so we're now here at Winterkeep, playing as Bouncer, approaching, of course, our boy Duff over here. But we're going to skip over to the necessary deep do by pressing best in the video game. As per the norm, Tech Skylanders are stronger here, which is why we went from Drill Sergeant straight over to Bouncer here. Because obviously we need to play as this guard across one current element of the area, cannot swap out again until the element of the area changes once more. And so Bouncer, being a tech element Skylander, he's already corresponding with the current element of the area. It means we don't need to switch out a second time here. Would be even more convenient if Drill Sergeant survived the caravan section, but he's just too useless to do so, because in that case we would have been playing as Drill Sergeant here instead. I really should have saved that food. especially when that's going to happen, because apparently I can't platform to save my life, quite literally. So how's about we get hit much less? That sounds like a good plan to me, but we have to be very careful here. I'm realising that Bouncer, possibly not the best choice for this section either. I should have swapped out for Wind-Up instead, because Bouncer, since he's taller than all the other Skylanders, those projectiles, because they obviously arc up in the air and then fall back down again, as they fall back down, you're given less chance to dodge them because they hit you higher up than they do other Skylanders, so they hit you sooner, and therefore they're harder to dodge as a giant such as Bouncer over here. Luckily these rockets have great knockback though. Well, they do when they're actually fired off, at least. But that time the video game just decided, nope, game doesn't care about what I want to do. He's kind of is off busy doing his own thing, so let's try to get hit much less over here. Luckily, whilst we did waste a previous chocolate ice cream, that vanilla ice cream is going to go to much better use because vanilla is extremely nutritious apparently. That's what this entire episode has been dedicated to, nothing but nutritious icy snacks. To which the nutrition value, realistically, is not that great. But really, this is Skylanders we're talking about. Who cares for realism in the Skylanders franchise? The first thing the developers do with these games is they throw realism out of the window. Okay, so if the developers don't care about it, why should I? Okay, boom, let's hit him. And for a moment now, I thought my rocket wasn't going to land. Again. Okay, here we go, let's take him out some more. And in the process not getting hit, that was the ideal. Okay, watch out. Oh sweet, they just gotta take care of themselves. Voice cracking. Oh, I think the voice crack kind of matches the intensity of combat here, because all it's going to take is a couple of hits, and because of the lack of invincibility frames in this game, two enemies can hit me at the same time, and I just die to it. Straight up death. Okay, here we go. Sweet, once again the enemy's taking care of themselves. My favourite thing in this game is friendly fire. If only the enemies dealt as much damage to each other as they do to me, that would be great. Then they definitely won't be lasting very long. But anyway, enough of this rambling. The only thing I should be focusing on, more so than rambling, is surviving, which so far is so good. Let's watch out for those blasts as I pop up here from treasure chest, because as you can tell, Bouncer is not yet maxed out on treasure, so it's time that we change that. Well, it's not like we're going to max him out on treasure based on a single chest here, but it's at least the progress towards it. I want this chocolate ice cream! Okay, I want to make up for one I wasted earlier. Without further ado, what we've got to do is take down some of these blizzard ballers. Yeah, we've got to use the X button, which if I was playing on a Nintendo console right now, the X button would be switched. Which makes no sense! At least Xbox do the X and Y based on the axis of a graph. Because obviously, X is lateral, whilst Y is more horizontal. So you have X and Y. You know, Xbox makes sense, whereas Nintendo, they just swap it, and they do it on purpose just to confuse me. That's the only purpose for the way in which Nintendo lay out their controllers. Okay, it's done for no other reason other than to confuse me, because obviously that's what Nintendo prioritized when designing those controllers. My confusion! Anyway, let's pop out of here and just let's all admit to ourselves that PlayStation is clearly the superior console here. Why exactly? Because it uses shapes, and what's the first thing you learn as a child? Fucking shapes. Yeah, the PlayStation control layout was just so perfect and memorable. Anyway, we've got to watch out for finger blobs here, because I'm sure, just like that, Bouncer's hitbox for these things are about as bullshit as the projectiles. And the last thing we want to do after having died to a caravan section is died to a grind rail section. Boom, boom, and we're shake room. Luckily for us, Bouncer is about to become worthy. Bicep power and all. In fact, I don't even have one gun. I have two. Let's just pretend I didn't do that. Not cringe at all.
We'll have the key in no time.
That sounds like a plan, Frost Elf. And I love your name, by the way, Frost Elf. I wonder how many brain cells it took to come up with something as legendary as that. In fact, we're about to have something even better. Guardian of the Snow Shovel. They named her that because she's the Guardian of the Snow Shovel. such genius, like, character design here. Because obviously the name of the character is part of the character design, so all of these characters look at the exact same and have generic names is the absolute epitome of the perfection of this game. That's what makes this the best Skylanders game, even though it's not the best Skylanders game, not by a country mile. But still, best Skylanders game, and it's made the best Skylanders game by legendary NPCs such as Frost Elf. In fact, forget about Blobbers. Frost Elf is my favourite Skylanders NPC. Blobbers wishes he was as awesome as Frost Elf, but nothing can hold a candle to the awesomeness of Frost Elf. Every other NPC wishes they were as cool as Frost Elf, but it ain't gonna happen. Frost Elf is the peak, not only of Skylanders NPCs, but of gaming in general. Okay, let's shoot some folks. Some folks? Apparently I can't speak today. No, it's not that I can't speak, I just have a Scooby-Doo filter on. Yeah, let's take it. No! Oh, thank you! I was so worried that I was about to get stuck then, and that would be how Bounce had died. But fortunately, that guy pushed me back into a playable plane of existence. Thank you, you convenient enemy. Almost makes me feel bad for killing you. Well, then again, it's not exactly like I'm killing them. I'm freeing them from the evil eye's corruption. After they're defeated, they revert back to their, pacifist forms. So you're welcome, guys. I'm going to reward you for helping me out by helping you out. What goes around comes around. Let's remember that in life. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Respect is earned, not given. Yada yada yada. Okay, let's take these guys out some more. Perhaps let's try my laser instead because that deals a lot more damage at this rate. Okay, these guys just have a lot of health for Nightmare Mode. And really? What else would I be expecting? Right, this is Nightmare Moon. He's got to get his name from somewhere. Okay, let's get out of there. Try not to get stuck. Which for Bounce was a task easier said than done. Finally, we've freed them. In fact, we freed them both because I'm just that awesome and selfless. So let's be spinning this right round, baby. Right round like a record player. Right round, round, round. And now it's time for Light Core Wham Shell, who's hopefully not going to crash the game.
Light Core.
How the hell a Light Core such as Wham Shell, which has that initial Light Core blast, isn't like
A water wonderland.
freaking the game out to the point of it crashing, and yet it does so for Zap, is beyond me. It might even be just like Boney Islands where I swap out for Zap and the game crashes. That's the only thing I've tested. It could be that Zap is fine again now, but I'm not going to test it when I'm halfway through this level already. I don't want to have to play back up to this point all over again. I've already had to play the beginning of Boney Islands 3 times. I don't want to have to do the same with this level. Once is enough. Once is plenty. It's as they say in the advert, one sheet does plenty. I can't even remember what it is as advertising. I just remember that quote, one sheet does plenty. Yeah. Such a great ad that I can't even remember what it was advertising. Then again, the greatest most ads are the ones that stick with you, the ones that you remember. So even if you don't remember the product, you at least remember like the ad, and then you see like the one-liner in a store, and you're like, oh, I remember that advert. Yeah, that product looked useful. I'm gonna get it because I like the advert, and I recall of its usefulness. After all, one sheet does plenty, and it's not like you need to know the specific brand. It's quite clear that it's on about sheets of like what was it, cloth, toilet roll, either way it was sheets of something or another. So already I have enough contextual clues from enough of the advert that I've remembered to where in a store I can pick it out over everything else even without the brand in mind. I mean, I want to say it was Sillet Bang, but I don't think it was Sillet Bang. Those have their own famous adverts in it of themselves. Obviously, nothing's better than the classic Go Compare. I'm obviously talking about very, very British adverts over here. In fact, the very idea of me calling them adverts in the first place would imply how British they are, because Americans do not call them ads. They're commercials over there, which makes total sense. Come on, Americans, if you're going to speak English, speak English! I'm joking, of course. I really should not insult like 80% of my viewer base on this channel. I'm not insulting you, I'm just, laughing alongside you. I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you. Huge difference. Wow, that was a really nutritious chunk of ice cream right now. I'm going to kill these guys from above, even though they can also kill me from below, so that's rather inconvenient, actually. Anyway, let's pop all the way up here. And then we can melt some stuff. And we can jump straight down, conveniently enough. Yes, it's very nice that we can make that jump. Anyway, let's be grinding on rails again. Let's try to take less damage than we did with Bounce, because Bounce, we took some damage, and now it's damage too much. You know, you take 1 point of damage, that's 1 point of damage too much. Okay, here we go. Initiating concentration mode. This is what concentration mode looks like. I do not like this look, because it's not good luck on me. But give me treasure, sweet glorious treasure that I don't even need. Whamshell here is pretty maxed out when it comes to treasure. Should really be using him to purchase some useful things from Tux Emporium, I believe it's called. I wanted to call it Auric Shop from there, but Auric isn't in this game because this game had the obsession of taking away beloved NPCs from us. Swap Force is like, oh, so you like these NPCs from Skylanders Giants? Too bad! You ain't gonna get to see a single one of them except for Callie and the opening cutscene. Same goes for Hugo. And then obviously Flynn is the main NPC throughout the game. Thank goodness for that. But apart from Flynn, there really is none of the previous NPCs to be found here. And it's rather tragic, actually. Rather tragic indeed. I am now realising that I have to play as Lightcore Whamshell until the Earth section of this level. Great! Just great. And it's not even that this character is that bad, it's just boring, so I'm going to be so bored. And the boredom is what would most likely lead to mistakes. If I make any sort of mistakes, it's because I made a mistake out of absolute boredom. And because I killed this character off on purpose so I could play as a much superior character. At this point, if this character is defeated in battle, I can swap out for any Skylander I like, because there is no current element of the area for my Skylander's element to correspond with. But I'm going to do none of those things, and instead I'm going to ensure that Whamshell survives. That sounds like a much better plan. I like that plan. Even though he's going to take forever taking this guy down, and he doesn't deserve to live, but oh well. Boom, take him out. Oh, I kill one zombie and 6 more million spawn back in. It's like the Hydra on the steroids. You cut off 1 head and 2 more go in its place. And no you don't. Yeah, this Ice Bomb just doesn't want to die, does he? Oh, thank goodness for the absurd hitbox range on that. Really saved my bacon, that did. Ow. Not cool, fella. Not cool at all. Is this going to be as nutritious as the last pieces of ice cream? No, apparently not. That's asking too much. But fortunately, that guy is dead. He took his time, but he's dead all the same. So, let's obviously thaw the furnace and then get the freak out of here. Okay, luckily things are still looking good on my capture card. I don't need the software to freeze me like it did during the recording of the Pirate Seas. Doesn't quite look at my recording that the frame rate is holding up as nicely as we like it to. I am recording in 1080p 60 FPS, even though it's going to be downgraded for the edit anyway, because the screen is going to be smaller. It's going to be about 740p in size, but obviously because I'm downscaling, it will still keep its graphical fidelity. Whenever you downscale anything, it's always going to look infinitely better. It's upscaling, which is the problem. That's where resolution really drops, which is why I hate what YouTube does. Whenever you upload anything in 4K on YouTube, whenever you watch anything in 4K on YouTube, anything to do with 4K is basically just upscaled 1080p, and it really sucks because I can record a really gorgeous looking video in 4K, and then when I go to watch it in 4K on YouTube, it just looks like upscaled 1080p, which is exactly what it is. Upscaled 1080p looks nowhere near as good as 4K. I know this because obviously if I watch a film, my 4K television, HD is going to look a hell of a whole lot different to 4K. You know, I asked myself, what was I missing my whole life? The answer to that is 4K television, baby! Oh, it's such a huge upgrade. I love it so much. Like, Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5, its graphical fidelity is insane on its 4K resolution. Sure, in 1080p it looks great. In 4K though, it's a whole other story altogether. Now these guys I have to kill. I can't just bypass them like I did the last guys. Which is a shame, because at the moment, I'm about to die, and I don't want to die. Then again, the game, as per normal, just doesn't care about what I want. Oh, shit! Well, that guy came out of nowhere. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to swap from one light core to another.
Blinded by the light.
Oh, they're about to be blinded by the light, alright. Emphasis on the word light right there because we are a light core. Okay, let's get some crystals spawned up on all these walls. It would be so cool if this multiple attack like also latched to walls. How broken would that be? You'd be able to form so many wall crystals so goddamn quickly. Okay, get out of where that spinny dude because that's what killed Whamshell so brutally. Oh no! Now the other ice golem has caught us up. Oh dear, this is not good. And at the moment all these projectiles are going to come at me off screen. So I'm going to have much less time to react to them. Is he dead yet? I guess I got my answer to that question. So luckily for us, like all Whamshell having been defeated means that he only reverts back to his original form as opposed to him being classed as defeated throughout the remainder of the series, classed as dead and cannot be used again. That is not the fate Whamshell suffers on this day. Okay, let's get ourselves the hell out of here. I mean, if I didn't do the carryon rules, then for later games I'd definitely have to add like 2 characters per element to compensate for the absurd like difficulty spikes. So instead I'm doing the carryon rules similar to how the supercharged series work, with the characters being upgraded as they get carried on into later games. I definitely much prefer it that way, adding only 1 new character for each element and having characters that get carried over into later games where they have upgrades available that they can be brought up to. That is what happens. I mean, it really is quite simple to enjoy it now. I don't need any sort of fancy illiterate words to explain what is fundamentally a very simple process. You know, I do love the fancy vocabulary, but where it's not needed, it's simply not needed. Wow! Such prestigious commentary. You're not going to hear, like, absolute jaw-dropping phrases like that anywhere else. And I literally couldn't think of a better phrase than jaw-dropping right there. My commentary is starting to fall off. Horribly. Well, I wouldn't say horribly. You know, I still got it, as we say. But it's notably me because my mouth is open and the words are coming out. Okay, my advice for this section is don't take these hitboxes for granted, okay? If these guys can hit you, they will hit you. That's for sure. Boom! Lasers to the face! Yeah, luckily for us, Flash Wing is absolutely busted. Okay, let's not charge up our ability here because that's going to result in us getting hit. So, you know, if that's a bad judgment call, then how about I don't make that judgment to begin with? That's a good plan. I like that plan. Die, 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 die. This is so much fun. I love this so much. Okay, cool. Take him out. Wait for it. And boom! Knock back. Oh, I almost feel sorry for these guys. Almost, at least. Okay, let's get you pushed into place, then that can be followed up by you. And we gotta do the same with this fellow right here. And already there are the places that they need to be in order to not block the laser from its required path. At least I don't think these blocks will block the laser. Yes, it doesn't. Sweet! So we need to collect obviously both the snowmen, and then we have the ammunition we need to finish off these final blizzard ballers. I have to be very careful here because these attacks, if they land, they deal damage to flashing over here, and that would be a horrible way to die. Much like the caravan earlier, the caravan which we do not name. Stay sweet. Okay, no idea how those aren't hitting me, but we take those. Okay, that fella's definitely not going to hit me. It's a bit low, that snowball right now. Okay, cool. Unfortunately for me, none of my ammunition seems to be landing on these blizzard ballers. Except that one convenient snipe. Okay, here we go. We definitely hit that final blizzard baller at least once. And now we've hit it thrice. Sweet. Not keeping up with that actually worked out in my favour. Defeated it sooner than I was expecting, and obviously sooner the better. When it comes to enemies and Skylanders, less is more. And by that, I mean the less enemies, the fewer of them there are, the more my chances are at survival, which is what I need. I need it so bad. Let's jettison ourselves out of here by mashing the correct button. I was pressing the B button then, which obviously I was pressing this for it, and that is in fact the B button on the Nintendo controllers, adding to the confusion I was alluding to earlier with buttons constantly being switched around between two systems. And it doesn't help that I was recently playing Nintendo Switch. I am addicted to Mario Kart. Okay, I have a Mario Kart addiction. And it's not a good thing whenever I'm, you know, raging at said Mario Kart addiction. It really does fester and anger within me. That's what blue shells exist for. So it is a good feeling when you tank a hit from a blue shell and still win. It's even a better feeling when a blue shell is coming in and you have either a super horn or a mushroom, because they're obviously the easiest items to dodge a blue shell with. You can obviously dodge it with something like a star or a boo or a bullet bill, but having those in first place is pretty rare. I have dodged a blue shell before with all three of those items, but you know, those weren't exactly common. Those aren't common situations I run into, and that, my friends, is why we switched out from Flashwing. We were anticipating the Earth section. That, and also I had very much confidence in Flashwing's abilities to play through the rest of this level unscathed, and so far my trust in her is paying off. Okay, cool, let's take this guy down somewhere. No, you don't! Just as they was about ready to charge up as well, I denied them so hard. Okay, Jumpy's there, no problem. Because that's what we have tertiary attack buttons for. Oh man, my wall shard was taking down those enemies whilst I wasn't even targeting them. Brilliant. This character is so busted. Why is she the way she is? Like, who hurt the developers to make her this broken? Not that I'm complaining, mind you. This I'm totally okay with. This level of destruction. Ooh, don't mind if we do. And so far, Earth is still our only element yet to have had any defeats. Earth is just unkillable. Like Air, it was speculated originally that it was unkillable because going into this game, Air had no defeats of its own. Then Turbo Jetpack happened, so Air, you know, the theory stating that the Air element is immortal, disproven, but Earth, on the other hand, so far, is still undefeated. Which is going to be great because going into the next game, Bash is going to have a form after his original, so he's going to have 3 versions to rinse through if Series 2 Bash makes it all the way into Trap Team. We'll have Series 2 Bash, the original Bash, and Bop, his mini form. Like, seriously, of all of the original characters from the Spyro's Adventure portion of Carry On, I think Bash probably has the best chances of being carried through all the way till the end. Him and Igknight, of course, because Igknight has plot armor. And by plot armor, I mean me actually being able to push the V-Get a Video button with him because he's my favourite Skylander, so I know his moveset inside and out. Then again, I know this Skylander pretty well also. I mean, she's my 4th favourite Skylander, so my playtime with her is definitely within the triple digits, shall we say. And I don't mean minutes. I've definitely, between different versions of Flashwing I have, because there's regular, there's for Jade, and there's for Light Core, between all 3 versions, I definitely have mastered at least 100 hours of gameplay with Flashwing. Or I should say a cured, because a cured is basically a way of saying built up. I've built up at least 100 hours of playtime with Flashwing between her 3 different versions. And I can tell you definitively that her pathway revolving around for the main projectile is her best one. Okay, so we're officially back at Woodbury, or Woodborough. I forget the name of the word in this game, rather foolish of me indeed. It was not so foolish, just the fact that I am going to be collecting myself a Puma hat, which for Flashwing, not only is it going to improve her fashion sense tenfold, but it's also going to give us additional armor, critical hit, and elemental power. Do not mind if we do, because if there's one thing Flashwing needs, it is a buff. She was useless before, now she's good. Only now is she good, now that she has buffs that she was so desperately in need for. I'm obviously being sarcastic. Buffs is the last thing this character needed. But what we're going to do here is that now that we're back at the hub world, I'm going to finally conclude this episode. So without further ado, let's roll that outro. I cannot, in good conscience, end off this video without first thanking all of my incredible channel members whose continued support help make these videos possible. Without them, these videos would be near impossible to make, so from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate every last one of them. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, there are plenty of options on screen now to explore, and please consider subscribing to keep up to date with all my content. On that note, this video is coming to an end, so thank you so much as always for watching. Until the next video arises, peace!